learn to change your heart. You have to look at your heart, read your heart. Where's your heart set at? Right? Something that I realize is, as human beings, is that we consistently and constantly do not look for elevation. Right? Yeah, we want money, we want relationships, we want business, we want to build our bodies. But one thing we don't want to do for some reason is elevate our minds, right? Because the mind is a soul, right? Our minds is going to impact how we operate, how we move, what we do, and how we analyze in this walk of Christ, right? God literally wants you to transform your heart, transform your mind, transform your life, do things, and to live for Christ, right? A lot of times we people please. A lot of times we try to prove ourselves to people. I fell victim of that. Majority of my life, in my 21 years of living, I have wanted to prove myself to people. I've wanted to blend in with people. There's been many moments where I felt like I couldn't have a bunch of friends, or I couldn't be around these group of people, just because of the fact of, that I couldn't blend in. But one thing I learned over the years is that everybody is different. Everybody's not built the same. We're under one doctrine, but everybody isn't built the same. Let me put this into a different emphasis, right? A lot of us grew in different ways. We come from different backgrounds. We come from different families. We come from different walks of life. And one thing I had to learn is that people's circumstances and what people have experienced impacts their ability to operate. It impacts their ability, and it also shows how they, react to certain situations, certain pitfalls, dark times, and even good times. And for me, and y'all notice I cut my hair. For me, in order for me to change my heart, I have to make a sacrifice. I have to make a soul-changing sacrifice, because it's bigger than the public eye of what you do, right? It's a personal thing. For me, my motto this year is that it's personal, right? My motto in 2023 was get back, right? And 2025, it's personal, right? For you need to take it personal to transform your life for Christ. Quit living for others. You have to consistently look to live not for yourself, not for your own desires. Because if you're living for your own desires, you will be led astray. You will not know how to live. You will not know who to live for. And if you don't know who to live for, that means you're living for the world, right? If you're not living for Christ, you're living for the world. If you're not living to glorify God, you are living to glorify the devil, right? You can't pick and choose in this, right? And there's not a lot there's no wiggle room. There's no wiggle room at all. I want to read a verse for you, and I think this will transform your mind. Romans chapter 12, verse 2. It says, "And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and the perfect will of God." Do not be conformed to this world. This world will have you stuck, bro. This world will have you in a loop. This world will have you consistently overthinking life. The world will consistently have you in an up and down trend, just like the market is. Like, it's an up and down battle. The world will have you straight confused. And whenever you're fully locked into the world's locked into you. The world don't care. As you see by the news, as you see by what's happening in the world does not care. You have to realize who cares and who is consistent in this matter, right? People will come and go. People will stop loving you. People will stop caring about you, and that's okay, right? You have to learn to stop living for the crowd. Stop living for the likes. Stop living for the comments. Stop living for the subscribers. Stop living to people please. Quit people pleasing. People pleasing ain't leading you to heaven. People pleasing ain't getting you them blessings in heaven, them riches in heaven. People pleasing is not growing your relationship with Christ. People pleasing ain't getting you to where you want to go in your goals. People pleasing is not getting you to where you should and want to desire to go. Man, I'll never forget this, man. Me and my boys had a conversation after hooping yesterday, and it was some fun basketball. And they asked me about, Drake, like what made you go into cutting your hair? And for me, yes, I had damaged hair. I have a good grain of hair, y'all. I have a good grain of hair. But I'm saying, like, for me, it was deeper than that, right? Because when you go through so many things, like, and this may sound crazy, y'all, but when you cut your hair, it is a feeling of restoration. It is a feeling of similar to baptism, but not nowhere near baptism, of some type of renewal. It's like mentally, whenever I had cut my hair, it took away that negativity that it felt like my hair was holding. It may sound crazy, but y'all will understand if you have cut your hair. And for me, what people don't understand is you go through so many things. You go through so much trauma. You go through so much depression, anxiety. Nobody knows your battles but God. Nobody knows your fights, your struggles, your battles but God. And it's like, trying to prove, like, you realize that and you're by yourself in that environment, and then you start learning how to really handle yourself. That's why being alone isn't the worst thing in the world. That's why being alone, which is you and God, is not the worst thing in the world. Not having a bunch of friends is not the worst thing in the world. Just living peacefully, living life, enjoying life, and growing and striving to grow in Christ. That is great. That is amazing. That is something you should want to do. This year in 2025, I'm trying to bring a new avenue of growth to this channel, and I'm trying to inspire people and motivate people and to bring souls to Christ, because at the end of the day, that's what I want to be remembered for, right? Not the money, not the fame, I don't really want any of that. It's about me giving y'all value, more value from this, giving y'all inspiration to help you, to aid you, to guide you throughout your day, because everybody on YouTube. But I got off track. My point is, man, you have to learn to seek godly wisdom. With godly wisdom takes sacrifice. And my dog's over here. He's all up in the way. With godly wisdom, it takes sacrifice. With godly wisdom, sometimes it takes losing friends. Sometimes it takes losing loved ones. Sometimes it takes losing people you've been cool with, been friends with for 10 years, 12 years, even a year, 5 months, doesn't matter. You have to learn to not people please. You have to learn to stop living for others, to live for yourself and God, to live for your dreams and your goals and your aspirations, and to live for doing God's will and doing His purpose for your life. And you guys may ask, Draco, how do I know my purpose? Right? Your purpose is already there. Your purpose in living is there. Your purpose in your job is in your job that God has assigned you is there. I'm not talking about your physical work job that makes you money. I'm talking about purpose. I'm talking about why God put you on this planet. What value God gave you to put on this planet. And you have to learn to talk to God about that, because sometimes it takes time. It took time for me. But you have to learn to analyze yourself, what your gifts are, what your special talents are, and to use those to glorify His kingdom. But I hope y'all learned something. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Rate my cut 1 through 10 in the comments. But no, join the Discord link in the bio. Subscribe if you're new. Turn on post notifications. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. As always, God bless. Love y'all.
I was forced.